Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, my name is Laura. I am 41 years old. I am a working mom and I love to talk about all things makeup, skincare, and beauty. So if you're joining me today, thank you so much. I hope that you'll consider subscribing to my channel. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified of any future uploads. And with that, let's get into this. I have a lot to talk about today. It is Saturday. I'm getting myself ready to go out, and I thought I would pop on here and get ready with you. I also have a couple of new products to talk about that I got from Amazon. I am super excited about one of those. So we're gonna just jump into this today. This is mostly drugstore. I'm going to be using one product that is not, and you will see why in just a moment. But I'm going to be using products today that I know are kind of gentle on my skin. I'm having some issues with breakouts. I don't know what is going on. So we're going to use some products that I know will not make that worse. So I'm going to jump into my foundation. And then we're going to go into a possible dupe for one of my most favorite concealers. And I also want to talk about a new palette that I purchased from Amazon. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Okay, so for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Almay TLC Truly Lasting Color Foundation. This is, I wear the shade Naked 160. This is a really nice foundation, not talked about much. I don't hear anyone talking about this, but it's beautiful on the skin. It doesn't irritate my skin. I'm quite certain it's fragrance-free. Hypoallergenic, won't clog pores. Anyway, I know that this doesn't break me out. It doesn't irritate my skin, so I'm going to use this today. And I'm going to use I'm going to go in and try this with a damp beauty sponge today. A lot comes out with one pump. Just for those of you who have never tried this, it's a thicker formula. It's a medium coverage foundation. It has more like a makeup smell than anything. I don't notice anything, you know, any kind of scent that's not strong or bothersome at all. And I'm just gonna go in with a sponge here. This is gonna look lighter. I know I've said this a million times on this channel, but the shade always looks lighter on camera than it does in my mirror. So if it looks light, this is actually a pretty spot on shade match for me. This one I like to use, I use either my beauty sponge or a brush with this, but it definitely, I use more if I use a sponge because it soaks up some of the product, but that's okay. You can see this is, it's a nice, that's a light coverage right now. I'm going to build it up just a bit here. I really like this foundation. This lasts all day. It claims, I think it's 16-hour wear. I never wear my makeup that long, but it definitely lasts me a full work day. So I can at least tell you that much. But it's just, ignore the under eye because we're going to go in with concealer here in just a minute, but you can see some pretty good coverage. Some texture going on right now, breakouts, just lays very nicely over all of that. It's been a while since I've used the Revlon Color Stay, but it reminds me a little bit of that. Maybe not quite as, I don't know, matte. This is a pretty, I call this a natural finish. It's not matte really, but it's also not dewy. Okay, so that's that's all I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to build it up anymore. I'm going to go in with a concealer. So I think this is what I've been most excited about in filming this video. I think I may have found at least a good alternative to my beloved Natasha Denona Concealer. If you've watched a few of my videos, you know that this is my absolute favorite concealer ever of any I have used. I've used a lot of concealers. This is just, you can't beat this. There's just nothing bad to say about this. It doesn't accentuate anything. It stays put all day. I don't even powder over it. It's beautiful all day long. I love it. Then I decided not to find a dupe or an alternative or whatever for the Natasha Denona, but I decided to try the Catrice True Skin Concealer, 18-hour hydrating concealer. I've never tried this, and I'm sure I'm the last person on the planet to try this. I've heard that it's amazing. I put it on and immediately reminded me of the Natasha Denona. So I've been wearing this for a couple of days. I wore it yesterday in a short that I posted side by side with the Natasha Denona. I'm going to do that again today. They laid exactly the same on my skin all day long. This did not budge. I didn't powder over it anymore. I didn't do anything different than I did with the Natasha Denona. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to put them on, one on each eye. This is the exception to the drugstore face today. Everything else I'm going to use drugstore. And I'm going to show you what they look like. I'm sure all of you have used this. I'm telling you, I'm the last person on the planet to try this foundation or this concealer. And I might get the foundation. I think there's a foundation that goes with this. I might try it because this is amazing. So we're going to try that today. Now, I don't know which one came out first. I'll have to look. I don't know that it was an intentional dupe. It may have come out before the Natasha Denona, but it is very, very similar. So we're going to do that now. I have moisturized my under eyes as much as I can because I just want to make sure I give them the best chance. Both of them looked a little dry yesterday, but that's not their fault. That's my skin. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Catrice on my right side here. Just a little bit goes a long way with this, just like the Natasha Denona. Let's see how well this covers everything. I'm gonna use my finger as usual. Okay, and so here's the thing, right off, it might be slightly more, not matte, but just, it's less dewy on the skin, I guess, right off. Now, the Natasha Denona dries down. First of all, it covers beautifully. You need very, very little, and this is full coverage, just like the Natasha Denona. And one thing I did not mention, the colors look completely different in the bottles. This is a pretty good shade match for me. The Catrice is, what did I end up getting? Because I couldn't try it, I bought it on Amazon. This is Cool Cashmere. It's a little bit lighter than I prefer. I don't like it to be lighter than my skin tone under my eyes. I just don't like the way that looks. But it's not bad. I can use it. It was just so hard to tell what shade to get online. But this, you can see, hopefully, the difference there. It's really pretty. All right, now let's go in on the other side with the Natasha Denona. Okay, So in that, for reference, this, as I said, this is Cool Cashmere, and the Natasha Denona, I wear N3. So we're gonna go in, no color corrector underneath, we're just gonna go in. This is a little bit darker, but it's definitely a better shade match for me. That's where I need it. Okay, this just covers so quickly. I would say the Catrice is maybe a little bit thicker, but not much. Once you get them on, you can't tell the difference. But you see how this one looks just a little bit more hydrating, dewy right off, kind of catching the light a little bit, but I mean, they're just so similar. I'm not going to worry about my chin as much. I'm really looking at my under eye here, because on the rest of my face it looked identical. So on camera, and it could just be the light, the Natasha Denona side looks just slightly more dewy than this one, but I'm telling you, they are both floating over fine lines here. They look so similar. So I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but these are very similar. I don't know if I'd call it a dupe or not. Alternative, dupe, whatever. I don't know that it was an intentional dupe. One I'm sure came out way before the other, but these are very similar. If you haven't tried this, I would give this a go. This is good stuff. Good stuff right here. They dry down. I mean, they look, I cannot, if I didn't know which side was which, I probably wouldn't know. Just sitting here looking at my skin, even though the colors are very different. And this side, the Catrice, I put it on this side today because I have like a darkness from a vein under my eyes that is really hard to cover. Some people think I'm getting a black eye when they see it and don't know, but it's, I'm just gonna put a little bit more over it. So you look, I mean, that really covered very well. Beautiful, it's just beautiful. Okay, so there you go. So there's that. I don't think the rest of my complexion products are not new. The rest of my complexion products are not new. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my face really quickly, and I will jump into the next product. Face powder. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. Go in with just a concealer brush from e.l.f. I like to kind of target where I put powder on my skin. I don't need it everywhere. Okay. I'm going to go in next with the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I love this. This is the shade, what is this? Dusty Rose. Love this so much. Again, if you haven't tried it, there's lots of shades. Very pretty. Blends out very nicely. So beautiful. Looks kind of pretty pigmented when you first start blending it out if you put too much, but it really does spread nicely, and it's pretty, honestly, it's subtle once you get it on and blend it in. This 2 tiny little dots is all I use. Maybe 1.5 dots. Blend, blend, blend. Blends right out. Lasts all day. That's my complaint with some of my liquid blushes, why I don't use them as often, because they don't last all day. They slide around. This doesn't move. So I really like this blush. All right, quickly going to go through and do my brows off camera, and I'll be right back and we'll finish up the complexion. Okay, so I quickly just went in and filled in my brows just a little bit. I really like this LA Colors brow pencil. I got it at the dollar store. It's really good. I've heard that some people don't like it. It's just a pencil that you sharpen. It comes with a spoolie that broke off, but that's okay. I have another one I use. So I filled in with that, and then I also used the e.l.f. Brow Lift. It's a clear jelly. Hold your brows all day. I just keep it nice and simple. I don't like to fiddle with my brows too much because it just annoys me. So, okay, and then I did put on just a little bit of eye primer just to let that kind of settle and dry down. I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Don't know that this specific formula is still available. They do have an eye primer out that looks similar. I think it's called something different. This is the best eye primer I've ever used, ever. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of bronzer, and I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to go in with my Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. I really like this. I like the undertone of it. It's cool toned. The lid popped off. It drives me crazy. I believe you can still find this on the Flower Beauty website. I'm having a hard time finding it in stores these days. I don't know if it's just really popular, but I need to use this up. Any Flower Beauty complexion product, I really like. Really, really good quality. Okay. This is not overly luminous if you're concerned about that. It's not like putting on a highlighter, but it's just so, I just love the tone of it. It's just, it's really pretty. You can see it goes nicely with that blush. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a highlighter really quick, and then we're gonna jump into this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. I'm trying to use this up with my Project Pan products. I really need to go through and finish a video on my foundations and getting rid of those. I need to declutter some of them. This is a really subtle highlight, but it's not glittery. It's just a nice, pretty glow on the skin. I really like this. This is also really pretty if you want to put over a matte shadow on your eyes. Looks really beautiful like that as well. Really like this. Okay, let's jump into this eyeshadow palette. So, the content creator that I was watching is Laura Fagelman. Check her out. She does a lot of great videos for mature skin. If you're interested, check out her channel. But she did a while back a video with this palette from Amazon. It's called Lamora, I think is the brand. Attraction palette. This is supposed to be a pretty close dupe for the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I don't have that palette, not the full size. I have the mini. And I would say there are some similar shades to these. We'll check, but this is a really beautiful palette. It comes with a mirror. I've tried this for a couple days now, regardless of whether or not this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona palette, this is beautiful. These shades are, especially these shimmers, are so buttery soft. Very, very pretty. They last all day. They don't muddy up. Really, really pretty. So I'm going to hold up the Glam palette here with it. And let's take a look. So this one performs similar to this one. I've used this one quite a bit the last couple days, a couple different ways, pretty similar. And then this one is pretty, I don't know, just nude, kind of light shimmer, and I would say that it's pretty close to this one. They don't look the same in the pan, but they're similar on the eyes. Regardless of how close it is to the full-size palette, this is a beautiful palette. It was on sale. I paid $9.99 for this. The regular price was $14, I think, $14.99, something like that. So I'm going to use this today. I'm actually going to try a couple different shades today. This one is called Secret, and it's kind of like a shimmery, peachy pink. Looks kind of coppery, but it's more of like a pink. Look how pigmented that is. Let me go in. I'm going to do a couple others, actually. This one beside it, Mocha, this one's really pretty too. I use this on my outer third of my eyelid. Look at the pigment. I think I tried this one. This one is called Star. Let's do that one. That one's just a little cooler toned, but similar to this one, just a little bit cooler toned. That one's pretty too. I'm telling you, these are, and this one up here, this is a matte. This one is called Sand. This is a beautiful transition shade. This lasted all day. So they go really well together. Gosh, that one is pretty. You know what? This one, I'm gonna swatch a couple of these together because this one is, okay, this is the Natasha Denona right here. It's this end shade here, which I believe is a golden flesh, or is that called Fay? I don't know how they have them lined up here, but it's this shade here on the end. This is one I typically use all over my lid when I use this palette. And this one is Honey. This is the one on the bottom here. I mean, and they're similar. They're very similar. And this has got some pigment. This is a pretty palette. I was super impressed with this, regardless of whether or not it matches. Even if you're not comparing it to Natasha Denona, this is a really nice palette. Okay, so we're gonna start by going into the shade Bare, just all over my lid, because I want to just sort of set down that eyeshadow primer. Look at the pigment. Oh my gosh. I don't need to use that much. There's a lot of pigment in this palette. Into Sand right here. That kind of like a peachy brown transition shade. This should blend nicely over that shade I just put on. Down, see how that just kind of nicely built up a crease. Okay, and then I think, oh, what do I want? They're all so nice. I think I'm gonna try this one, Secret. I think I'm gonna do that one today over my whole lid. That is the shade that's sort of a pinky peach. champagne tone. It's looking, yeah, that's pretty. The shimmers are not as pigmented as Natasha Denona's, but that's okay. It just makes them easy to work with. Some of these could be some really pretty one and done shades too. You can put them down on your lid, blend upwards, and you would be done. Okay, I'll turn my light off there because now that it's a little lighter outside, you can kind of see. Kind of just a champagne. Yeah, those are very pretty together. Okay, I'm gonna go in with, let's see what I want to go in with next. I want to use this matte. I'm gonna show you this matte called Stone. That I think is pretty similar to the one in the Natasha Denona palette. Let me just go for my right here. So it's sort of a, I don't know, is that like, it's more like a neutral to cool tone brown. These are generally, most of these are cool toned in this palette. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of that one on my outer corner, and I'm not going to take it up into my crease. I'm just going to put it on my lid. So it just doesn't, I feel like I make my hooded eyes look deep set. I don't know what you would call them. I think it just makes them look worse. Just sort of blend those two together a little bit. Pretty. With just a little bit more of that pinky shimmer secret. Oh yeah, this is very pretty. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take another kind of thinnish brush and go back into Sand, that original transition shade, and go under my eye with it just to kind of help everything melt together. I recommend giving this a try. I will link it below. I just got it from Amazon, like I said. Again, it's the Lamora Attraction palette. So again, check out Laura Fagelman's channel. Upside down. So again, check out Laura Fagelman's channel. I found this palette through one of her older videos, but she was comparing it to the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Okay, finally, to finish up this eye look, we're going to go in with the Maybelline Falsies lashes. I love this. I just picked up another one of these yesterday. It's a nice thick wand, gives you volume, but it also lengthens. I love this mascara a lot. Just really, really good. Sort of a drier formula, so for me that makes it just a lot easier to use than others. So lower lashes, I'm going to do Maybelline Sky High. It's the only one I trust under my lashes at the moment. We're going to go in with, for lips, I'm going to use the Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayon. It's wearing off. This is the shade Lead the Way, and I'm actually going to use this as a lip liner today. And I do that because it's so easy to use. It's a thicker crayon. I love these. I'm going to go over that with the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipstick. This is the shade Dirty Talk. Okay. Love this. It's just a nice nude shade. Doesn't dry my lips out, which is very important. And then I'm going to go over it with the ColourPop Luxe Lip Oil in the shade Skinny Dip. This is just a nice peachy to clear gloss. Let's put a little bit of that over it, and that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have all these products linked down below. The newest ones, the Lamora Attraction Palette and the Catrice True Skin. Highly recommend both of these. I love them. I know that they last, you know, so I've used these a couple of times now, so I can safely say I really, really love these. So thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend and week ahead, and I hope you make it a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.